The next lesson we're getting into is adding, subtracting, and multiplying with polynomials. So if you were in the textbook, this would be Chapter 6, Lesson 3. Seems like we're kind of skipping around, but the book is actually laid out in a little bit different order. So an example of a polynomial, just to kind of get you started here, x would be a monomial because it's one term. The number 3 would be a monomial because it's one term. 3x squared would be a monomial because it's one term. So when you take one term and add another term, you have a binomial, two terms. If you add another term, now you have a trinomial. But when you add even another term, then you have just a polynomial. So a polynomial is many terms. So when you're adding a polynomial, and there's no number in front of the parenthesis, you can basically just drop the parenthesis. So this one would stay as 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 4 plus, and here I can just drop the parenthesis, so 5x cubed plus 2x squared plus x minus 7. So when we're adding or subtracting, really what we're doing is looking for like terms. So I've got a term that is cubed and another term that is cubed. Because they're both x cubed, that makes those like terms. So this would be 7x to the third. Notice the x to the third part doesn't change, it's just the number in front when you add. Then I have 2x squared and 3x squared and 2x squared, so when I add those, I get 5x squared. And then 2x and x would make 3x. And then positive 4 and negative 7 would be negative 3. So now that I don't have any more like terms to combine, this is finished. And we call this standard form because I have the biggest exponent going down to the smallest exponent. So I know this one is finished. Let's talk about subtraction. So I'm going to take and subtract this. 5x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 7. And I want to subtract the polynomial 7x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x minus 5. Okay, I'm going to subtract. So this one's a little different. So when you subtract, this first polynomial stays just like it is. So I'm going to write it down underneath just like it is. The negative gets distributed to everything inside the parenthesis after it. So since it's negative, it really just changes the sign of everything in there. So I have the opposite of positive 7x cubed, which is negative 7x cubed. The opposite of negative, which is positive. The opposite of positive, which is negative. And the opposite of negative, which is positive. Now I just have a string of monomials, which I need to add. So I have cubed and cubed. So I have positive 5 and negative 7. Since they're more negatives, my answer is negative. So those are gone. And then I have negative 2x squared and positive 4x squared. That's positive 2x squared. Positive 4x, negative 2x is positive 2x. And positive 5 and positive 7 is positive 12.